Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will talk about SQL. If you are a beginner or advanced data analyst person, this video is a must if you want to learn SQL. I will walk you through the basic syntax of SQL and I will explain you why SQL is required, why we are using SQL instead of Excel or any other thing, right? So all the steps from end to end, I will explain you in this video and in my upcoming videos. So these videos will be very important for you if you want to learn SQL, right? So in this video, I will tell you about SQL, what is SQL, then types of SQL commands, then SQL command syntax, and then I will explain with the practical examples on the software itself, right? So this is the agenda for today's video. In the upcoming sessions, I will work on top 17 beginner level SQL questions with their answers, how to approach them. These will be easy and predominantly for beginners. But if you're advanced user, then you can watch these videos to brush up your skills, right? And then later on, I will work on top 24 intermediate level SQL questions and their answers. These questions will be moderate and these are for intermediate users. And finally, I will walk you through the top 10 advanced level SQL questions with their answers. The level would be hard and this is for experts. So overall, in these 3 or 4 sessions, you will understand end to end the SQL, the queries, what kind of questions are asked in the interview, how you should approach these kind of questions. So I can assure you, if you watch these videos, you will understand SQL around 30 to 35% for sure. And I will solve every question in front of you so that you understand how to approach any question. All right. So first of all, what is SQL? SQL, the full form is structured query language. Structured for S, then query for Q, language for L. So SQL full form is structured query language. It is a standard language for storing, manipulating and retrieving data in databases. So first of all, the data is huge. Data is stored somewhere. It can be on cloud or on premise. Premise as in it can be stored in your laptop, which is not residing in the cloud, right? So data is stored somewhere, correct? So it is being stored and it is stored in the databases in the form of tables. So once if you have to interact with those tables, how to interact? You have to use certain language that the system can understand, right? So SQL is that system language that system can easily understand and they can give you the results according to your needs. So for example, if you want to retrieve particular records for particular location, let's say you want all the records where the employee is in Delhi, so it should give me only the records where the location is Delhi, not for pan India or for the worldwide data set, right? So it is used to store, it can be used to clean the data, it can be used to manipulate. So I'm manipulating out of thousands of records. I'm saying give me those records where the location is Gurgaon. The way you filter out in the Excel, right? You use filter and you can filter out anything. So similarly in SQL, you use various queries to manipulate the data. So SQL is a standard language for relational database system. All the RDBMS like MySQL, MS Access, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgres, SQL Server. So all these are the RDBMS systems where you can use the queries to retrieve or manipulate the data. All right. So the standard SQL commands to interact with relational databases are create, select, insert, update, delete, drop. So first of all, if you want to create a table, if you want to add a particular table in a database, so you have to use the create function, right? And then if you want to select or get something, fetch some kind of data, then you have to use the select command. Similarly, if you want to insert new records, you can use the insert command. So I will walk you through all the syntax and how to use them. All right. So now SQL can be divided into various languages. Three most important divisions are DDL, data definition language. Under DDL, we have various commands like create, alter, drop, and truncate. So these are the four commands under DDL which are really important. So through create, you can create a particular table or a database. Alter can, if you want to manipulate or change something structure in the table, then you can use alter. If you want to delete the table, you can use drop. And if you want to delete the records but you still want the table name to be there, then you can use truncate. I will explain all these things. Right, then comes data manipulation language, DML. So these are the commands used to manipulate the data, as the name is itself saying. So first of all, insert will help you to insert various records in the already created table. Second is delete, if you want to delete particular record. Finally, update. Using update, you can change various things in the table. And finally, call. Third language is data control language, DCL. This is used to grant, if you want to give access to a particular user, or you want to give him admin access or any database access. So for that you would need to use grant command. And revoke command is when you want to remove particular user with particular permissions. You can use revoke command to revoke his rights of using the table. All right. Now, before moving ahead and work on practical use cases, I want you to explain the difference between Excel and SQL. First is Excel stores the data in sheets, whereas in SQL the data is stored in the tables, right? So this is one of the important point. Then Excel maintains no relationship among data distributed in sheets. So if you have data in various sheets, there is no relationship. But in SQL, it maintains relationships among the tables. Third, works on single table. So it only works on one table, which is sheet. And in SQL, you can work easily on multiple tables. So that is the beauty of SQL. You can use various commands like joins, and you can work on multiple tables at one time. Excel supports limited query options, whereas SQL supports extensive query options. So definitely SQL is more flexible, it is more robust, and you can do whatever you feel like. In Excel, queries cannot be stored, so you can't store any query in Excel. Whereas in SQL, queries can be stored as view or stored procedure. Right? I will explain these things as well in upcoming sessions. Visualization of data and its analysis is relatively simple in Excel, as we have already worked on creating charts, pivot, and all those things. Comparatively, visualization is easy in Excel, whereas in SQL, visualization of data in graphical format is absent. It is not available. In SQL, you can't create visuals. SQL is only to manipulate, store, and clean the data. That's it. You can't do visualization. For visualization, you need to have Excel, Power BI, Tableau, or any other BI tool. Alright, so this is it about the comparison. Now let's work on practical use cases. Alright guys, so now we are on the SQL Server. So first of all, I will show you, this is the ribbon where you can see file, edit, view, you can see the query, connections, then there is projects, tools, window, and help. Right, so if you want to create a new query over here, you can click here, new query, and it will give me another window, and here you can type in your SQL query, right? And then there are various other functionalities which can be covered in the later stages. On the left hand side, you can see this is one connection which is already created. Under this, I have various databases. So these are the three databases as of now. Under each database, if I expand them, there would be various tables and views, right? If I expand the tables, you will have various tables, whichever is created in this particular database. All right. So now there are various other things like security and all other stuff, but it is not required as of now. What we will do is we will start working on scripting, like how to create the table, then how to alter that, then how to update, how to insert the new records. All those things we will work, and this is all SQL. All right, so guys, let me just close this now, and then this is my comment. So if you see, if I have to create a comment with multi-line, so for example, if I remove this, if I have to type in this is SQL Server, right? So if I type this and without the symbols, then if I execute this, this will show me error, something related to incorrect syntax near the keyword is, because this is not SQL query, right? This is just simple English. So sometimes you want to keep notes or you want to write things so that you can remember, or for the third person and he or she can read that, right? So for that you need to write comments. To write comments you can use two dashes like this, and the text will turn into green color. Now if you execute, it will not give you any error, right? Similarly, if you want to type in the multiple lines, so if you type and it is more than one line, then you can't use this. For example, second is, this is my second line. Now if you execute, again this will give me error because this is not my SQL query and this is my comment. So here, to make it multi-line comment, what I can use is backslash and then asterisk sign, and then close it by asterisk sign and backslash, right? Now if I execute, there won't be any error, right? So this is how you can use comments. So for single line you can use this symbol, for multiple lines you can use this and then close by asterisk and backslash, right? So this is for commenting, right? So I hope this comment part is clear. Now coming back to my DDL languages, so first step is to create a table. So if I don't have any table, I have to start from scratch, right? I want to create a table, right? So this is my syntax of creating a table. So what you will write is create table and then the table name that you want to give, then bracket open, then column 1, what is the data type of that column? For example, if you are typing employee number, that can't be text, right? That is number, so it can be integer, so you can type in data type as int. And then constraints are the rules in SQL. So what kind of rule you want to give? Is it the not null? For example, if you want any particular column to remain mandatory for anyone to fill in, right? It should not be null, so you can type in not null. You can define any particular column as primary key. So what is primary key? So there are few rules of primary key. So for that you can read various articles, and if you are still not clear, I can walk you through the concepts of primary key, foreign key and various other things, right? But then these topics will be covered in the later stages. All right, so overall we have to create a table. So you will write create table, then table name, bracket open, then what is the column name, data type of that particular column, then constraint if any, this is not mandatory, right? Then comma, and so many whatever is the column numbers you can type in, and then bracket close and then semicolon, right? So let's try ourselves. Create table. What can be my table name? Let's say it is employees, right? Bracket open, then enter. Then what can be the column name? First column name can be employee number. All right, so data type is int, and then the constraint is this is my primary key, and then comma, Second column can be, let's say, employee name. It is my varchar 20, right? And this is, oops, this is varchar, and then comma. I want employee name to be not null. So if someone is typing, it should always be there, right? So this is not null. And then third option can be the designation, or let's say department. So in which department you are working. So again, this can be varchar, and then size, this is my size 20. So 20 characters it can take, comma. So it can still be null, right? So I'm not constraining it to be not null. So if someone is writing and he misses to write department, his record will be saved, right? And then salary, let's keep it int and give me, let it give 20 characters. All right, so for int I don't want to give right now, and then we can keep it as it is and bracket close, semicolon. Let's see if we execute this, what happens. You can type in here, or you can right click and you can click execute. Commands completed successfully. Once you get this message, that means the command is successful. If you want to check this, so what you can do is you can right click over here and then refresh and go to tables. So this is my table that we have created, employees, right? You can see here, if you expand this, there would be various columns. So column is like employee number, pk is primary key, this is integer and not null. So you can see there is one symbol, then this is employee name, department, salary, right? So we have 4 columns in this particular table. Now if I want to check what is there, what kind of data is already there in particular table, so I can use my DQL query, that is data query language, select and then star from employees, right? Then semicolon. Star means select everything. So from top to bottom, everything, whatever is there in this table, give me that. So I'll execute this. So there is nothing. So I have 4 columns, but there is no record because we have not inserted, we just created a table, right? So there is nothing inside. All right, so I hope you understood how to create a table. So how many numbers of columns you can create. If you want to add here, now you can't add. Let's say you want to add another column over here. Let's say you want to add location, right? Location is again varchar 20, right? So let's say if you can create a table, execute. So you will get the error, there is already an object named employees in the database. So what the system is saying is that you already have the table by this name, you can't create again. So now if you want to add another column, so you have to use alter function, or you can say alter command, not function. So you can write alter table, right? I'll explain you later on. So here let's add one column, right? So for that we will write alter table employees. Employees is my table name. You want to add another column, so type in the add keyword, then you have to write location, data type is varchar, right? You can add 20. Let's see what happens. Execute. Completed. Now if you want to check, select star from employees, you can select from here as well and execute. So see, you can see there is another column which was not there, and if you refresh this table from here, refresh, you will see there is one more column as location, right? So you can add or you can modify the columns using alter table. Now you understood how to create a table. Now you understood how to alter or change the table. If you want to add more columns in the existing table, you can use alter. Now if you want to add the data in the table, so for that we need to use insert keyword. right? So insert into table name and then values. So let's see how it goes. Insert into table name is employees, and then you will use values as a keyword, then bracket open. Now my first column is employee number. So let's say my employee number is 101, then comma. What is my employee name? Let's say employee name is Rohan, then comma. What is the department where he is working? Let's say he is working in IT, then comma. And what is his salary? Let's say his salary is 1 lakh, comma, and location is Delhi, and then bracket closed. Let's say if we select this and execute, one row affected. That means I have added one record. If I select this and execute, you can see there is one record which we already inserted. Employee number is 101, employee name is Rohan, department IT, salary is 1 lakh, location is Delhi. So what are the important things which you need to consider? So whenever you're typing in the integer, it should not have the quotes the way it is there for the varchar or the text data type, right? So whenever there is text, you have to keep in between the single quotes. So you can see Rohan, IT, Delhi, all these are coming under single quotes, right? And the salary and the employee number are not having the single quotes. So that means for all the integers you don't need to write this. For example, let's say I write insert into employees values, then I type in 101, comma, let's say I add Ajay, right, comma, he is into sales, right, comma, salary is 20,000 and he is located in Mumbai, right, bracket closed. Let's see if this will give me error or not. Execute. Violation of primary key constraint, cannot insert duplicate key in object. The duplicate key value is 101. So we already added this and we had created a rule that employee number is primary key. So that means I cannot have the duplicate values in this particular column. So I have to change this. Let's say the employee number is 102. Now let's see what happens. Execute. One row affected, right? So now let's see select star from employees 101, 102. Now let's say I want to insert another row, and this time employee ID is 103. The name is, let's say, Rahul, right? And then again he is in sales, 20,000 salary, Mumbai location, right? Now see, this time I have not added the single quotations, right? Let's see what happens. Execute. Invalid column name Rahul. So Rahul, for the system, it is being treated as integer, but it is not, because here the expectation is varchar, right? Employee name is, it is varchar data type. So this is not varchar. Now in order to make it varchar for the system, I need to keep it in quotes, right? Now let's try to execute. One row affected. Now let's see what is the status of the table. So you can see there are 3 records right now, right? Now let's try to add one more. Let's say the employee number is 110, name is Kanika, department is finance, salary is 2 lakh, and location is Kolkata, right? So let's try to execute. One row affected. And one more thing, so you can insert multiple records. Let's say if you want to add 3 more, let's say 104, 105, 106. Name is Rohit, Sahil, Manoj. Rohit is in IT. Sahil is also in IT. Manoj is in supply chain. Right? His salary, Rohit's salary is 25,000. Sahil's salary is 35,000. Manoj's salary is 55,000. And Rohit is in Gurugram. Sahil is in Bangalore. And Manoj is in Pune. I want to insert these three together. Let's see what happens. One row affected, one row affected, one row affected. So you can see these three rows are affected. Right, so there is another way of inserting. I will show you that as well. Right now, let's see what is the status of my table. So now you can see there are total 7 records which we have added. Right, so now you have understood how to create a table, how to alter the table if you want to modify or you want to add new columns. So for that you can use alter command. Now you have understood how to insert the records, new records. Right, now let's get to other things. Right, so now you have understood this also. Now let's see if you want to delete particular records. So now you have 7 records. I say I want to delete the employee number 110, employee name Kanika, and department finance. So I don't want this record. So how to delete? So the syntax is delete from table name where, and you have to mention the condition. Right, let's say I want to delete from table name is employees where, and now my condition is where my employee number, is 110. Right, I want to delete all the records where my employee number is 110. Right, execute. One row affected. Now if I again select the complete table, you can see that particular record has been deleted. Right, so this is how you can delete multiple records. You can use any condition where this particular column is this and this. For example, if you want to delete all the employees where employee number is 110 and employee name is XYZ. Right, so if you want to add multiple conditions, you can do that to delete the records. All right, so now we have understood delete part as well. Let's say how to update. So the update statement is used to modify the existing records in a table. Right, so alter command was used to add new columns. Update command is used to modify the existing records. Right, so we have these 6 records. If I want to modify, let's say I want to say mistakenly employee number 106 has been written employee name as Manoj, but his name is Rohitesh. Right, so what I can use is, this is my syntax: update table name, set column name is equal to value where the condition is this. Right, so it is update, my table name is employees, set column name is employee name equal to Rohitesh, where now my condition is employee number, my employee number is 106. So wherever is my employee number as 106, that employee name is Rohitesh. Now you can watch very easily that 106 employee number, the name is Manoj. Now let's update. And now again see, select star from employees. Right, execute. So now you can see instead of Manoj, you can see the name is replaced by Rohitesh. So this is how you can update. You can update whatever you feel like over here. Right, so now you can see in DML, insert, delete and update. You are now well versed with all the DML languages, which are really important. These three are the most important DML languages. In DDL, we have understood create, we have understood alter. Now we will work on drop and truncate. So what is the difference between truncate and drop? Because there is a minute difference. Alright, so now if you see, this is my drop. So the drop table command deletes the table in the database. So if I use drop table command, it will delete my complete employees table which I created right now. But the truncate table, this command, if you use this command, will delete the data which is inside the table but not the table itself. For example, we have this employees table, right? Here we have 6 records. So if I use drop table, so it will delete all the 6 records, plus it will delete the table itself. You won't be able to find this table. But if I use truncate table command, it will delete all the 6 records, but it will keep my structure of the table, right? So let's say if I use drop table, table name is employees, right? So now if you select this and execute, commands completed successfully. Now if you select star from employees, if you select this, execute, invalid object name employees. So the system is not able to find employees because you already deleted this. So now if you refresh this, you will see the table name employees is not there anymore, right? It is taking some time, but anyway, right? So the objective of drop is to delete the data as well as the table itself, right? Now instead of this, if you want to delete just the data but you want to keep the structure intact, for that you have to use the truncate. So let's say I want to create the table again, so I will select this and execute. Now my table is back, right? You can see the table is there. Now let me insert some of the records. Let me insert all these records, execute. Right, now if you select, you will see the table is there, right? Now I want to use truncate instead of drop. Truncate table, table name is employees, right? If I select this, execute, command successfully. Right, now if I select the select star from employees and execute, let's see what happens. See, you can find the object. The object name employees is still there in the system, but all the records are deleted. Truncate means you will lose all the data which is inside the table, right? But in drop table, all the data plus the table itself will be deleted from the system. So this is the difference between drop and truncate table. All right, so I hope this part was clear. So this will sum up the basics of SQL, the DDL languages, create command, alter command, drop command, truncate command. In DML, insert, delete, update. These are really important. Now, I would like to give some more emphasis on select query, right? So this is one of the DQL where you are selecting the data out of the database according to the need, right? So now let's get back to the select star from the table. First of all, I need to insert. Let me just go back and select all the insert queries and execute, right? Now I have this with me. Now take a new version and then execute, right? Now we have 7 records, right? Now let's play with data. If I want you to give me all the records, all the records where the department is IT, right? If you see it manually, there are 7 records. Out of 7, there are 3 records: employee 101, employee 104, employee 105. So these 3 records, the department is IT. In other records, we can see the department name is sales, supply chain, or finance, right? So if there are thousands or lakhs of records, you can't do it manually. Here you can see and visualize the manually there are 3 records, but in overall when the data is big, so you can't do that, right? So from here, if you use the query, what you will do is select, let's say select star from employees where department is IT. So this will give me all the records where the department is IT. Why this is giving me invalid? Let's just try this and execute. Yeah, so this will give me all the records from the department where the department is IT, right? So let me just give it as a comment. See, these are errors, coming errors, because I have not given this as a comment. So let me just provide this as a comment, right? And let it be like employees. Let me make it more sophisticated. All right, so anyway, so you have understood this, right? Where the department is IT, I need to fetch all those records. So you can use select star. So star means all the records from the employees table where the department is IT. So this won't modify. So this is very important. Select query won't modify your table. If I have used select star from employees where department is IT, that doesn't mean my table is modified. I'm just extracting the data from the existing table. So if I again go to select star from employees, this will give me all the records, right? See, I have 7 records, it will give me all the records. So using select query, you are just using the existing table to get particular data, right? Now if I say I want all the records where my employee name starts from R. So my employee name, whoever's name starts from R, I want all those records. So what I'll do is select star from employees where employee name like. So here I would use keyword like and then single quote R and then percentage and then single quote. So what it will give me, so all the employee names which starts from R and whatever is there after R doesn't matter. So I want all those records, right? And then execute. So this will give me 3 records: Rohan, Rahul, Rohit, right? If I go back to the table again, now I want all those records where my salary is greater than 50,000. All the records where my salary is more than 50,000. So how you will do that? So the keyword is wherever my salary is greater than 50,000, I want to fetch all those records, right? So let's say select star from employees where salary column is greater. So you can use greater than 50,000, right? And then select this and again execute. So this will give me all those records where the salary is greater than 50,000. Right, now I want to get all those records where my salary is less than 30,000. So this will be select star from employees where salary is less than 30,000. Right? So now you can see all these commands are not case sensitive. So here I have written E as caps lock, right? So E is in capital. So select here and select here are same, right? It doesn't matter. Again, if I don't use the single quotes over here, will it give me the results? Absolutely yes. Right? So these quotes are not necessary when you are using in conditions over here. But if you use, that is also fine. Right? But here, if I want all those records where my location is Mumbai. So what I will do is select star from employees where location is Mumbai. Tell me one thing, if I use this, will it give me the correct answer? No. Let's see how. Invalid column name Mumbai. So Mumbai is a varchar data type, right? So as I told you, location is varchar, which is text. So you need to keep this in quotes. Right now, if you execute this, this will give me correct answer. Right? So these are the two records where the location of the employee is Mumbai. Right? Now let's try one more thing. So first of all, let me select the table. All right. So now let's see if I want to have all the records, I want to sort them on the basis of their salary, right? Sort the records on the basis of the salaries and highest salary is on the top, right? So what I need to do is select star from employees where salary, no, so I don't want to filter out anything because the question is not asking me to filter, it is just asking me to sort on the basis of salary. So I don't need to use where, so I'll just remove this. Select star from employees, order by salary. Let's see what this will give me. Execute. So now you can see the minimum is 20,000, then 20,000, 25,000, 35,000, 55,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. So this has been sorted, but this is ascending order. So by default, the order by keyword, this will give me in ascending order. So if you want this in descending order, so you just need to write DESC, descending. Right now, if we select this and execute, so now you can see highest salary is coming at top and then it is in the descending order. Right, so now you understood about the ascending and descending using order by clause. All right, so now let's see if you want to fetch all the records where employee number is more than 104 and salary is less than 50,000. Right, so there are two conditions. Employee name is more than 104. So let's type in select star from employees where my employee number is greater than 104 and one more condition, and salary is less than 50,000. So is less than 50,000. So I want to select all those records where these two conditions are meeting. Let's see if there is any. So greater than 104, I have this where the salary is less than 35,000. This is correct. This should come. Then 106, but the salary is higher, so this will not come. And then greater than 104, 110, the salary is more than 50,000, so this will also not come. And then coming to any other, no, these are all less than 104. So if we have to get the correct answer, it will only be 105 employee where the salary is less than 50,000, that is 35,000, right? So let's select this and see if I'm getting the record as employee number 105, and then you're getting this same record, right? So if you want to add multiple conditions, you can use and, or, and you can do it multiple times. So let's say if I want to fetch all the records where department is IT or salary is more than 1 lakh. So I want these two conditions either or. So you must have worked on Venn diagram. So here I want the condition to be true whenever it is true as department is equal to IT or the salary is more than 1 lakh. So either of them condition is meeting, we need to get the records. Select star from employees where my department is IT or salary is more than 1 lakh, right? So these are the two conditions, and execute. So this will give me 4 records because there are 3 of the departments where I'm getting department is IT, so this condition is meeting, right? For the final condition, for the final record, my condition of salary greater than 1 lakh, that is 2 lakhs, this is meeting, right? So whenever any of these two condition is meeting, I will get the records. All right, so now you have worked on and or. Let's work on other things. Let's say, so first of all, let me get back to the table. Let's start from the employees. All right, so now I want the top 5 records in the table, irrespective of sorting and anything. Whichever are the 5 records in my existing table, I want them. So what you will do is select top 5 star from employees. Let's see what happens. Execute. Oops. So the object name, table name, I wrote it as EMPOIS employees. All right, now let's try to execute. Yes, so I'm getting top 5 employee records in the table employees, right? So if I want to have top 3, you can have select top 3 star from employees, execute. If I remove the asterisk sign, let's see what happens. Execute. Incorrect syntax near keyword from, right? So what top 3? So you have to explain the system what top 3 you want to get. Top 3 star means everything, like all the columns, everything I want in top 3, right? Now let's see, in my 7 records I want to count number of records or number of distinct employee numbers, right? So anyway, employee number is a primary key, so you won't have multiple or duplicate employee numbers, but I want to have distinct count of all the employee numbers in the records, right? So what you can do is select count distinct records, right? So what you can do is select, first of all, I want to keep the distinct of employee number, right, from employees. Now in this I want to count them, right? So you can use count of overall distinct employee number. And let's see, if I select this and execute, I am getting 7, right? And if you want to name the column for this, you can just add as, let's say, count. Let's see if we execute. So you can see that column name has changed to count, right? So if you can use as, this will help you to clean the data and make it more readable, right? So if this was not there, right, and if you execute this, so you can see this is no column name, and then this won't make it more readable. You want the end user to read this and make more sense out of it, right? So you have to use as, you can give any name, right? So this is about count. So if you want to count, this is there. If I go back to my table, execute. Now let's try to work on other things. Let's say you want top 3 records in Mumbai. Currently the data is very less, so this won't make more sense. This will give me only 2 records because location Mumbai has only 2 records, but this will help me to find which are the top 3 performers in particular location. If you want to say that which are my 3 top salesmen in Calcutta, right? So what you can do is select top 3 star from employees where location equal to Mumbai, order by salaries in descending order, right? So in this, if we select and execute, this will give me 2 records. Highest is this. If there are multiple records, this will give me top 3, right? So now if we go back to the table, I want only the name and their salary. How you can extract 2 columns from these 5 column table? So for that, I can type in select, instead of star, I can type in the column name itself, employee name, comma, salary from employees. So this will give me 2 columns from the table itself. Execute, right? Now if you want to add one more column here, or you can you want to summarize, let's say if you want to add up all the salaries, comma, you can add the max function of salary as total salary, right? Let's see what happens. Execute. Column employees, employee underscore name is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or the group by clause, right? So if we go back, if I remove this, if I select this again, you will see for each employee I am having salary. Now if I add one more column as max salary, what the system will understand is where I'm adding, because ultimately I want to add all the salaries, but it won't give me here, right, as a third column, because this doesn't make sense. So for that, if you want to get the max salary, so you can select, you can work on these queries, select max salary as total salary from employees. So irrespective of 2 columns, if you want to have another column, you can't use max salary as this. Now if I execute, this will give me total salary, right? Total salary as 2 lakhs. No, this is not total, this is max. So this is giving me max of all the salaries. So for total, instead of max, I need to use sum, right? So max is giving me the maximum salary. So you can write max. This is giving me total salary. And if I want to have the minimum salary, I can add min and min salary, right? So if I want to execute all these three lines together, can I do that? Execute. Yes. So this is giving me maximum salary as 2 lakhs, minimum is 20,000, total salary is 4 lakhs 55,000. This total salary is the sum of all the salaries which I am giving to the employees, right? So this is how we are working on the queries. All right. So last question, which is really important, is if I want to select all the records where the employees are not in Mumbai, right? So I want to have all the records where employees are not in Mumbai and their and this salary is more than 50,000. So I can use the multiple line command, right? So I want to select all the records where employees are not in Mumbai and the salary is more than 50,000. So this is select star from employees where location is not, or not, you can use this Mumbai. Let's see what it will give me. And salary is greater than 50,000. So I want to set two conditions where location is not Mumbai and salary is greater than 50,000. Let's see what this will give me. This will give me three records. Location is Delhi, Pune, Calcutta, and salary is greater than 50,000, right? So this is how you can use not equal to, exclamation mark, and then equal to. All right. So I hope this was useful. I have used various queries to make you understand. These are very important queries. DDL is definition language, then DML is manipulation language and query language. So these are the important commands. So once you are well versed with these commands, then you can work on various other things like joining the various queries. So if you have multiple tables, how you can join them. So we will come to those kind of queries as well. So this was the beginners tutorial where you understood the basics of the SQL queries. And if you want to know more about this, you can comment below, or you can mail me. You can mail me your queries regarding this particular topic, and I will be happy to address you. Uh, I really want you guys to work on SQL because this is one of the most important skill if you want to become a successful data analyst. So if you are thinking that everyone is learning Python and you should also learn Python, definitely Python is really important. But if you don't know SQL and you are a beginner, then I would highly suggest that you should study SQL and learn and be well versed with SQL before jumping into the Python. Right. So SQL can be treated as basics. So if you want to, apply for various jobs, SQL will be very important. Even if you don't know Python, but you know SQL like advanced level, then it is highly likely that you will get through the job interviews. Right. So if you want to know what kind of structures or what kind of questions the interviewers ask, I can help you. I can mail you all those kind of questions. But anyway, in the upcoming sessions, I will walk you through all those kind of queries with beginner questions, intermediate and hard. All those kind of questions I will explain step by step so that you can understand, you can also execute it yourself. And it is highly suggested that you can install SQL Server on your PC and you can start practicing. There are various other websites as well, like Lead Code, where you can execute all the questions which are given, and then you will get to know that what kind of expertise that you are having in SQL, right? So I hope you have understood from this, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. This will really help me to reach to better audience, and if you can share with your friends who are also into this particular field, this will be really helpful. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and thanks a lot to my subscribers because they have motivated me to make these kind of videos. Thanks a lot for watching this video.